Hi everyone, I am your hostess Nayam Anaglate and welcome to Row 1 Series Campus Live. Today we are privileged and honored to have a beautiful and multi-talented lady. She is a medical doctor and a musician by profession. She was the first female president of the National Union of Ghanaian Students, Kiev, and became General Secretary of NUGS Ukraine. She is a deaconess and was the music director of the choir of PIWC, Kiev. She is in the person of Dr. JoAnita Chimsi Wumbee. Welcome, Dr. JoAnita. From everything that I have said, I believe I have omitted a lot. Can you tell us who Miss Dr. JoAnita is?
Well, basically, I think you've said quite a lot. Yeah. But what I would say, to add to that, what I would say I also am is, first of all, a lover of God. And I'm someone that is really focused and determined in all I do and very perseverant. Giving up is never an option for me. And someone that is down to earth. I'm very sociable.
Okay.
But I kind of have a small circle of friends.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, basically I think that's a general summary of who I am. Yeah. Apart from a lover of music too.
Oh, okay. That's great. Okay, so can you give us a little background about yourself? Where you were born, the family you come from?
Okay, so I'm from the Wumbee family.
Okay.
And I was born in Accra, Ghana.
Okay.
Specifically in Rich Hospital.
Okay.
So shout out to those in Rich
Hospital. Shout out to rich babies.
Yeah. I think my mom used to work there and I happened to be given birth there, there. And I'm the third born out of 6 children.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're all girls or you have brothers?
I have a brother and the rest of us are girls.
Oh, that's great. So can you tell us about your educational background too?
My educational background? Wow. I was someone that went to quite a lot of schools in my basic education. I think I went to, Patsy's, either Patsy's or so. I've forgotten the name of my crèche or something. But after that, I went to Morning Star.
Okay.
Then I moved to Soul Clinic International. And then I was moved again from there to Prince of Peace. Okay. And then I was moved to Acropolis. And then from Acropolis, I finally moved to 7th grade Princess Academy in Dansuman. And that was where I finished my basic education.
From all these schools?
Yeah, from all these schools.
Okay.
So after my basic education, I moved to Okiapman Secondary School for my senior secondary school education. And then after that, I moved to Ukraine.
Ukraine?
Yeah, straight ahead.
You didn't have any dream university you wanted to go to back in Ghana?
Well, I was going to go to KNUST, Kwame Nkrumah University. And I had gotten admission there, but later as we were trying to prepare towards that, I later had this opportunity to come here to do medicine instead, because over there I wouldn't have gotten to do medicine. I was supposed to do biochemical sciences or something. So
that's what
this was a better option for me because I wanted to be a doctor.
So from the little introduction that I gave, we realized that you are a musician. So can you tell us a little bit about your music life?
A bit about my music life.
Where you started?
Well, my mom and my dad, they always say that I've been singing or doing something like singing, since I was a baby, or a toddler. That from time to time, they would just hear their baby. I'll be singing T T T T T T T. I'll just keep doing that T T T T T T T. They are like, what's she singing? I also used to love the television, like watching television a lot, because they could just come and meet me standing in front of the television, and I'm so concentrated looking, and they're like, what is this baby looking at? Yes, apart from that, like those was like one of quite some of the kind of fun things that causes them to remember and just laugh like with me. And as I was growing up, I realized that like I was having all these throat infections. Like I could lose my voice easily, and sometimes I don't sing. Yeah, I don't even get to sing. And it wasn't, I just loved music, so from time to time I would just try to be singing always, like in the hall when everyone is out, or if my siblings are in, I might go upstairs to where my parents are. If they've gone out to work, then I'll just be up there with their equipment and just be singing and whatnot. So that passion was there. And I think where I decided to begin to join a choir, I think that was after I had finished senior secondary school. And then I went to church. I wasn't someone that used to go to church like a lot. But there was a time I went to church. I think it was during the Christmas season. And the choir, they sang, I think they sang Days of Elijah, and they had their own twist or touch to it. And I was like, okay, I think this is motivating me. Let me just join the choir. But also I just felt there was also, like there was something pushing me. I couldn't explain it then. So I went there, and there was a music director there. For some reason, he just singled me out, and he really wanted to work on me to like help me to be quite knowledgeable in the area of music. So he just was working on me. He would be so hard on me. If everyone else is late, he wouldn't punish them as much as he would punish me. And well, that was, sometimes I used to ask myself, why is he always doing this? Why is he always doing this to me? But with time, I got to see that he just really wanted the best for me in that area. And so I think that's basically when I started, music.
And you came to polish it up here.
Ukraine.
So that was your Ghana life. Can you tell us the Ukraine music life?
Oh, the Ukraine music life. Okay. So, well, when I came to Ukraine, I think where I started, the whole journey of Ukraine is also another story. But when I was eventually settled in Lugansk, that was when I started like really going to church. And I decided to also join the music ministry, because I felt that I wanted to be able to serve like in one way or the other in the house of God. And so that's how I basically started. I never even back up in Ghana, I just led worship in church during services. But in Ukraine, in Lugansk, that was where I started to even sing, like lead praises. And it was quite tough at the beginning, but I began to like adjust with time. And then eventually I went home, and after I transferred and came to Kiev, this was where like this was the period in which I really learned a lot, like being here. I was surrounded with people that like were into music, and that had a deeper knowledge in it. So they kind of helped me out in order to grow. To reach this point. And also the music ministry generally being there, it's been very helpful in order for me to grow in this area.
Great. So I realized you're also a songwriter. I want to know what inspired you. What was the motivation for you to, like, where did you get the ideas from just to put down songs? Because I know a lot of people have been struggling in this area, but it looks like it comes easy to you.
Well, I remember before I was going to come to Ukraine, though my relationship with God was a bit shaky then, I just felt that, like, I just knew that there was always a higher power that was kind of watching over me. And then from time to time, I would just be able to, like, I'll go out when no one is around and I'll just use that to talk to God and stuff like that. So there was one time because I had interest in music, as I was growing up, there were times where I used to just write, like, I don't know, it just came naturally. I'll just be writing songs. But then I sang a lot of worldly songs. So that was the direction in which I was writing. But there was one day, I don't know, I just made a decision, and I was just saying, God, if I would write songs, I would rather want to do that for you. So that was when even the first song I ever wrote, I Love You, Lord, came. And I was able to work on it. And I could sing that before coming to Ukraine. And then when I came to Ukraine, I had a friend over here, Kelvin, who helped me to also polish it up as well. And so basically, like, I don't know, but for some reason, I just felt that there was a calling. Like there's a calling, something really here, like in the music area, because I don't know, it just comes. It just comes naturally. There are times where I could just be sitting down and I get songs like maybe in pieces, but there are times I could just get a full song. But where it began to even evolve more was like in terms of like getting both the melody and the lyrics is when I started to play the guitar. So those are times when I have times of like worship sessions, like just my own alone time with God. Those are times where sometimes they can just come like randomly. Yeah, sure. There are times too that I'm just sitting down or maybe walking. I like to walk a lot and just admire like things, like just admire, and I'm like, hey God, you are so wonderful. You like, look at the trees, like that kind of thing. Like it just amazes me, the nature. It just shows how great our God is. And so when I do that, I'm just inspired. Like maybe if I'm at the park or something, I sit down and then I just get to write. Like, something. Yeah, I just get inspired and I'm writing something, or I get home and maybe after worship or just generally when I wake up in the bathroom. I don't know, there's something about the bathroom. Yeah, but when I get there, like, I don't know, I'm so vulnerable. I just get so many ideas, not even just music wise, but those are one of the main places I'm able to get a lot of downloads, like musically.
Okay. So aside your sore throats growing up, did you have any challenges?
Yeah, like my voice is not all that. So I don't know, like I just had all these kind of insecurities that like I'm not perfect, like in that enough, like, so those were some of the things that used to like kind of suppress me trying to really open up and pursue like doing what God has called me to do in the music area. Like I had a lot of those insecurities, and I think also what made it that immense was because of the fact that my voice used to go a lot. And even when I came to Ukraine, well, that has changed as time has gone or passed, because initially I was telling a couple of people a week ago that there were times where I'll just lead praises, and when I'm done leading praises, like I can't talk anymore. And it's just going, and I'm like, I talk, and they're like, hey, JoAnita, what's happening? But like, I was telling them that all those things, I believe that God took me through those seasons for a reason, because in a way it's just helped like me to learn to lean on him and trust him, and sometimes not to overdo or do too much, because when it's there and I'm able, like with stuff I've learned, there are things I could do. But even in a worship session or wherever I would have to minister in one way or the other, sometimes if we are not careful, we could get carried away and overdo stuff with maybe some riffs or rants. It's good to do that. like as you are in, like you are led to. But sometimes when you get get carried away and you end up overdoing it. That is where I think that is why God has just kind of made me go through all that, because it's gotten better, way better. Like these days, I feel that there's some kind of endurance that my voice has now. Like, glory to God. So
from your music writing, how many albums do you have?
Ooh. Well, those that for now I've been able to record an album, the Journey album, but I have like hidden albums that I haven't been able to like expose yet. And then there are things I'm working on. There are some of those songs are songs I got during the time I got my first song, which is I Love You, Lord. So there are things, maybe projects that I could work on like in the future.
So is this album, the Journey, right?
Yeah.
Is it open to everyone, or it's also hidden?
Oh no, it's open to everyone. Thank God. Yeah. I think if you are able to subscribe to my YouTube channel, my name there is my full, okay, not my full name, but my first and my last name, JoAnita Wumbee. Yeah. So you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and you'll be able to get some of those, the songs on the album. I'm yet to still upload another, but I would also make some available, like for people to buy. And with that, I would encourage you, if you'd want like to invest in that, because this is something that is going into a good cause. I have a heart for the orphans, and even when I began to launch the album first in 2015. I was led to be able to do this kind of seed offering in which people could give that day, and we were able to invest it into an orphanage. And I believe that, and right now that is still what I'm led to do. It's a project I would want to do in the future, but I believe like somehow it's starting bit by bit. And so this, like, with people buying the songs, the monies are going to be used to invest in the orphans. Yeah.
Okay. So with your music career and education, how do you juggle it?
Well, sometimes, like, okay, I think it's not so hard in a way.
Really?
It's a bit difficult. I think because maybe it's also something I'm passionate about, like the music aspect. So even sometimes that is what relaxes me. Like when I'm stressed, like with everything, going to school, like ministry, like because in church I'm not just in the choir. Yeah, there are other things I'm doing in church. So sometimes with everything else, it's like music is just where I just release the stress. Yeah. So I think, but it also, juggling everything, it comes to do with learning how to manage your time and being disciplined. I think and focused. Because you have to have a goal. When you have the end goal in mind, no matter what, you are going to do everything that is necessary in order to get to that. Yeah, and to be able to achieve it or get to where you want to get to. So I think that's very important, and being perseverant, because along the line there will be challenges. If I had said that because of my throat infections, like I'm going to give up, and it's like when my voice goes, sometimes it's frustrating, to be very honest with you. Sometimes I'm like, oh God, why again today? I can be in a worship session and I'm singing, I'm just left with the last song, and then everything is off. Like there's no voice. So that is where I've come to learn so much. I have to give maybe a signal to the backers. They are able to help round everything up, and then the instrumentalist as well. So all those things have given me advantages in order to learn so much of what you can do when maybe something goes wrong. So I think basically
that's it. Okay, so you said something about church. Let's go into your church life. How was it, or who were you in the church, aside being a deaconess and aside being maybe the choir director?
Well, in the church, I was a women's leader, ministry leader at a point. I was, and even before I became a choir director, I was an assistant choir director.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think I'm also part of the presbytery. Yeah, I think so far those are the things I can remember. I was also part of the choreography ministry. I think along the line I stopped. Yeah, but I was also part of that. Yeah, as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
We will be going on a short break, but when we come back, she'll be playing one of her songs for us. Stay tuned.